What's up, guys? It's Casey Zogelman, aka the fourth Sanderson sister, coming at you with a special Christmas episode. As you can see from the thumbnail, I'm taking you all on a journey today into a holiday crossover, the likes of which we've only ever seen with Avengers Infinity War. I'm talking about pitting the most deviously wicked mind in the world against the Sanderson sisters, Kevin McAlister. That's right. Our Christmas special imagines a world where Kevin McAlister gets lost in Salem, Massachusetts, and happens upon the wicked Sanderson sisters. Let's be honest with ourselves, folks. They don't stand a friggin' chance. For the purposes of the Black Flame Candle's power, this is going to be set during Halloween, so it's kind of a Christmas special. And in a timeline where Kevin lights the candle instead of Max. Plus, it's gonna make for a fun change of pace for Kevin, so let's dive into this puppy. We open on the week of Halloween in Chicago. The McAlister household is in disarray as usual as they prepare for an autumn tour of New England. Since Christmas seemed to be a curse on the family, the big trip this year was going to be different. Everyone ran around packing clothes, toiletries, etc. No one was more excited than Kevin McAlister, the youngest of his siblings but older than his youngest cousin Fuller. Kevin is more excited for their visit to Salem, Massachusetts than anything else, but they won't be there for Halloween. The family leaves the day before the spooky holiday. This, of course, upsets him, and he makes a big deal about it to his parents. Look, Kev, we'll be spending Halloween at an apple orchard in Vermont. I'm sure it will be just as fun. What's Halloween without costumes and trick-or-treating? I don't want to spend it picking apples and making pies. I want to go to the parade in Salem. They shoot off fireworks, you know. Kevin, Salem is just too crazy on Halloween for a family trip. We'll be there the day before, which is fun enough. This stinks. Kevin then slams the door to his bedroom. What kind of Halloween is spent picking apples? So, as you can guess, everyone gets moving for their autumn New England adventure. It's fun so far, apart from all the plane hopping and sharing a bed with Fuller. They eat at several fancy restaurants, and Kevin listens as his older siblings order virgin margaritas. What does virgin mean? It means it doesn't have alcohol, Kevin. Oh, okay. The family hangs out in Salem on October 30th, then goes to bed early to catch their flight to Vermont. Kevin has been moping all day about not getting to stay in the Halloween capital of the country for Halloween, while staying in their inn. In true Home Alone fashion, you guessed it, a storm hits and knocks out the power, so the usual panic about missing a flight ensues. But this time, instead of still being asleep or following the wrong man in a tan overcoat at the airport, Kevin has to use the bathroom. His parents keep telling him to hold it as everyone runs around throwing their crap in suitcases and tossing on their clothes. Kevin tries to wait, but eventually, amidst the chaos, he runs into the bathroom, closing the door behind him with his suitcase in hand. While he's in there, you guessed it again, the family leaves and hops their plane to Vermont. Kevin, meanwhile, flushes and walks into the now quiet suite. Bags are gone, family's nowhere to be seen, and he is all alone. Kevin sits down on the bed. My family's in Vermont and I'm in Salem. His frown turns into a grin as he realizes he got what he wanted. My family's in Vermont for Halloween, and I'm in Salem? So using his wits and a pre-recorded conversation his father had for booking on his little recording device, you know, the one he used in Home Alone 2, Kevin gets his stay at the inn extended. He then hits the streets in his Halloween costume, and we see a montage of him participating in Halloween activities. He was dressed as the devil. Fortunately for him, he brought all of his allowance money, so he's able to pay for food and cider and some fun toys and stuff to take with him. He runs around Salem Common as Jacob Bailey High School lets out for the day. Kevin waves at a young man flying by on his bike wearing Nikes before continuing his fun. Trick-or-treating was finally starting. Kevin had never gotten such a haul in his life. He had to make a couple of trips back to his suite at the end just to unload it all. During this time, we cut over to Vermont and the family settling in before realizing Kevin is gone. Of course, we get the iconic Catherine O'Hara scream. On his third outing, Kevin sneaks into a walking tour and hears tell that while the Salem witch trials got innocent people killed, there were 3 real witches lurking about. The wicked Sanderson Sisters. Real witches? Yeah, right. Kevin scoffs and continues listening to the tragedy of the Binks family as they walk. He hears about the life potion and how Thackeray went missing the same night that Emily Binks was killed. He also hears about the curse of the black flame candle and how if it's lit on All Hallows Eve by a virgin under the light of the full moon, the Sanderson sisters could come back to walk the earth once more. And here is the house in which they lived. From here they cast their spells and brewed their potions and brought misery to many, but mostly the Binks family. You dare not get too close as this museum was shut down due to mysterious accidents. Kevin, driven by curiosity, waits until the group is on the move to sneak up to the old cottage. He opens the door with a long creak and starts looking around. Quietly, he creeps inside, waving his flashlight around. Kevin finds the light switch and flicks the lights on. He lets out a wow before looking around. First thing he finds is a rack of dusty souvenirs. He takes a lighter for himself to light fireworks with at home. He finds a portrait on the wall of what he assumed were the three witches. The plaque underneath had some writing on it, so in his best tour guide voice he reads, "The Sanderson sisters, Sarah, Mary, and Winifred. Sarah was the youngest of the family and the prettiest. She had the power to lure people to their death with a siren song. Many young boys went missing in the woods over the years." He inhales. Yikes. Mary was the middle sister, said to have the characteristics of a dog. She could track the scent of a child for miles relentlessly until she caught them and... Sick. Kevin had read the next part silently. He took a deep breath before continuing as fear began to settle in his stomach. Winifred was the eldest and the most powerful sister. She could cast lightning from her hands to subdue her enemies. She had quite the temper. Paired with her book of spells, she was considered unstoppable. Kevin, to settle his nerves, scoffed again. This is just some kind of hocus pocus they use to trap tourists. Witches aren't real. Kevin wanders around the cottage more, looking at everything, touching things he shouldn't, and stumbling upon the spell book. He read about where it came from and how it was made, and while his stomach turned over, he shook off the creeps. That's when Kevin found it. A large candle with a plaque reading, "Black flame candle, made from the fat of a hangman." Gross! If lit by a virgin on Halloween night, it will raise the spirits of the dead. Kevin chuckled to himself. Yeah, right. Kevin took the lighter from his pocket and flicked it to life. He started to light it when a black cat screeched and ran through his legs. Kevin slips and hits the ground, looking around for the cat. He looks up the candle and sees a spark had ignited the wick. It looked like a normal candle flame, causing him to laugh, until suddenly it turns black. Kevin gasps as the curse takes effect in the manner it did in Hocus Pocus. He dives underneath the table with the book as the door bursts open and in walk three women in what he thought were witch costumes.
We're home! Oh, sweet revenge! Do you see, sisters? My curse worked perfectly!
Kevin's jaw drops. They look just like the portrait. Oh no, he whispers to himself.
I knew I left this card, and didn't I tell you? Oh, I knew it. My lucky rat tail! But who lit the black flame candle? Wake up! Wake up, sleepyhead. Oh, I missed you. Did you miss me too? Really, dear? I smell children.
It's a little boy. 8, maybe 9.5. Blonde. Mary was sniffing around like a bloodhound. Kevin had to think fast. He had to get out of this house. Suddenly he looked up and 3 grinning faces stared at him.
Greetings, little one.
Mary and Sarah snatch him right up. Winifred prepared to zap him when she caught sight of his devil horns. Sisters, look at his head! His horns! They are like the Master's, Mary gasped. Master must have sired a son, Sarah exclaimed. Kevin got an idea. Yeah, he did. So you better let go of me or I'll tell my father on you, Kevin exclaimed proudly. Sarah and Mary let go of him. That's better. Now I'll just be on my way. Wait, young master, please tell us. What is the year? It's 1993.
Sisters? We have been gone 300 years. Well, Winnie, how time flies, huh? When you're dead.
Yeah, that's good. I'll be seeing you around the palace. Kevin inches his way to the door when he steps on his devil tail, trips, falls, and the horns fall off of his head. Young master, art thou all right? Winifred asked. Yeah, I'm fine. Just got more people to terrorize, you know. Have fun casting spells. I gotta go. Kevin tries to recover, but Sarah gasps and points to the horns on the ground. He has lost his horns. 'Tis not our master's spawn. 'Tis just a child. Uh-oh.
Roast him, Winnie. I haven't lost my touch, sisters. Say.
Some chasing around ensues, just like the first movie, right down to the burning rain of death. Kevin meets up with Binks on his slip and fall, and they run off together. This time, the spellbook actually stays put with the witches so they can cause a little chaos. Kind of like how, Marv and Harry don't actively pursue Kevin, he just ends up in their way. Kevin and Binks make it back to his suite at the inn, and Kevin locks the door behind them. He sits against it and exhales. I brought 3 evil witches back from the dead, all because I've never drank alcohol. What? My sister said that virgins don't have alcohol in them, so if I'd had that sip of beer Uncle Frank once offered, that wouldn't have happened. That's not what that means. Who cares? I'm stuck here with no parents, no siblings, and 3 crazy witches are after me. What am I going to do? As he's debating with himself, the Sanderson sisters come knocking. Kevin quickly puts in the video he rented from the inn. Angels with the filthiest souls. You didn't think I was going to leave out that gag, did you? As he plays dialogue off and on, we would see the witches reacting and getting increasingly scared until the machine guns start going off and they run away screaming like they were on fire. Kevin even mouths, "Happy Halloween, you filthy animal." Binks and Kevin talk for a bit, Binks letting Kevin know what happened to him. Binks also tells him they need to get the spellbook away from the witches before it's too late. Kevin doesn't want to go back, but in the end, he decides to do it. It's almost finished as the boys arrive. Binks starts in to catch their attention, and while the witches are distracted, Kevin sneaks in and grabs the spellbook before the potion is completed.
You idiot! The boy has tricked us, and he's stolen the book! After him!
'Tis a black river. Perhaps it is not too deep. 'Tis firm! Careful, Winnie. 'Tis firm as stone.
Why, it's a road!
Firm as stone. Firm as stone.
It's my book!
And Binks and Kevin run all the way to the graveyard. Winifred summons Billy to help, and here's our Kevin is afraid of a nice old person who looks scary but isn't, and will befriend them by the end of the movie cliche.
Maybe.
I'll be thy friend.
And waiting for you. Ah, thou hast waited in vain. And thou wilt fail to save thy friends, just as thou failed to save thy sister.
We flash back over to the McAlisters as they try to figure out where Kevin could be. They realize he's probably still in Salem, so they pile into the shuttle from the apple orchard and start their 2-hour drive to the airport. Okay, if you haven't figured it out yet, a lot of this is still going to follow a lot of the same beats as Hocus Pocus until the party at Town Hall. Here, Kevin will lose the spellbook on his way out, and the witches will get it back. Kevin and Binks feel hopeless as a song drifts over the breeze into the air. Binks tells Kevin to cover his ears as Sarah Sanderson starts luring children out of their homes and into the streets. Kevin manages to get out of Dodge by hiding near Jacob Bailey High School. Kevin gets an idea and decides he's made this mess and he's going to clean it up. Kevin and Binks break into the school and, well, you guessed it. It's the part you've all been waiting for. It's trap time! Kevin breaks into the school and sets up his game plan. Together with Binks, they hurry to the Sanderson cottage and sneak inside as the potion bubbles and a hypnotized girl sits in the chair. Binks hisses from the window to get their attention while Kevin knocks one of the poles over to spill the potion all over the floor. You little pest! Winifred screams. You better come get me, you ugly old hags! I'm really scared! Kevin calls them from the doorway before he runs off.
Look, the candle's almost out. And my potion, my beautiful potion. Look, there's just enough left for one child. Get the vials. Oh, joy, what luck. This is perfect for that little tow-headed brat.
We have a child.
Here. And look, Winnie, more children are arriving. Come on in.
Winnie, we'll make more potion because, Winnie, we have the money.
We haven't the time. Besides, I want to get that little rat-faced kid that called me. Oh, don't say it, Jody.
Ugly?
Oh, honey, I know. She really hurt my feelings. She's jealous. She don't even know me. I know. You know, I always wanted a child. I know. And now I think I'll have one. Mm-hmm. Toast!
So, the Sanderson sisters pursue Kevin as Winifred's thirst for revenge kicks in. Now, here's our wonderful array of traps for you! I'll be adding some that were actually cut from Hocus Pocus, which is why we are at the school. First, we have the voice over the speaker, like Max, to lure them into the school. As they wander down the hall, they come upon a staircase where we get the first cut Hocus Pocus trap. Kevin, after saying, "Tennis, anyone?" drops every tennis ball the school owns down on the Sanderson sisters like a bludgeoning hailstorm. Beaten and bruised, they hear Kevin's voice over the speakers again.
Spread out.
Okay, space. Hocus. Oh, Kevin's sick.
Not like that. He's serious.
He's serious.
So, we have now split the party, and Kevin has plenty of traps for each of them, but I'm gonna have to be specific and just do, like, one big one per, because timing, and I'm not as creative with the traps as I want to be, so I hope you guys like these. Sarah wanders into the cafeteria, searching everywhere she can, being very careful not to get attacked. Yet. A noise comes from the kitchen, and she runs over. She yanks open the door to the kitchen, and a 10-gallon bucket of salt is dumped right on top of her. Instant third-degree burns. After she manages to shake off the salt, except for what's in her boots, which makes it very painful to walk, Sarah stumbles forward towards where she heard the noise. One at a time, Binks pushes large pots and pans over the edge of the workstations, rigged with rope, to swing down, delivering Sarah with multiple bangs to the face and one huge stock pot to the back of the head, before she falls over. Mary heard her screaming from the other end of the hallway, but she's hot on Kevin's trail as she gets closer and closer to the boys' locker room. Now this proves problematic, as now the scent of many children starts muddling Kevin's scent. Kevin has rigged up a mascot head to drop from the ceiling to scare her. He spread the school janitor's floor polish all over the floor and a laundry cart for a very dangerous landing. To give you the quick version... She opens the closet door, mascot head swings down from above, she screams, slips backwards into the cart, and rolls all the way down to the set of nearby stairs, and down that set of nearby stairs. Winifred, however, is lured into the library by the tape recorder we are very familiar with, where, well, books are the best weapon, and we all know that for a fact. So... in the most deadly of the traps, an oversized game of dominoes begins, ending with a big ol' crash of the bookshelves on top of her. The Sanderson sisters stumble back together, battered and torn up, but, you know, they're okay because, unlike Marv and Harry, they actually are immortal until sunrise and can't be killed. It actually makes sense that they can survive this kind of stuff. They make their way to the gym, and a big old barbell clotheslines them flat onto their backs. Kevin stands in the doorway to the other room. You know, for witches, I was expecting more of a challenge. He laughs, then dashes into the next room. We underestimated that little brat, Winifred groans. Yes, Winnie, Mary and Sarah say. They get to their feet and pursue him into the pool room. Yep, I'm putting the famous pool scene back in this as they muck about to find Kevin. Kevin watches from the announcer's booth as Winifred is knocked in the water by Mary and Sarah, who are not paying a lick of attention to where they're going. He and Binks laugh as they get electrocuted by Winifred. He takes off, snatches their brooms from the entry hall, and waits at the top of the stairs for them. You ladies give up? He asks as they station themselves at the bottom of the stairs. Never! They shout and start to give chase. Kevin knocks a bunch of baseball bats down the stairs, tripping them back down to the bottom. They let out a few grunts and groans as the bats fall on top of them. Want your brooms back? Better come get 'em. They drag themselves up the stairs, pursuing Kevin all the way to the school kiln where their brooms are waiting inside. Kevin lights them up and runs out of the school with Binks on his shoulders. As he celebrates, we all know that doesn't work. The Sanderson sisters return, smoldering and very angry. Kevin realizes he's got to get the heck out of here, so he lets out an ear-shattering scream, temporarily deafening them before he runs off for the graveyard. Their brooms burned up in the kiln, and we get our lovely cleaning supplies instead, because I'm not getting rid of that gag, it's too iconic. Now, the McAlister family has made it back to Salem, and they actually catch a glimpse of Kevin running in the distance, so they follow him. Kevin runs into Old Burial Hill and smack into Billy. We get our lovely usual scene where Billy cusses Winnie out, and he joins Kevin against them. Best thing they can do is gather a bunch of rocks to start throwing at this point, because all of his booby trap stuff is either at the inn or back at the school. As Kevin pummels them with stones, he's snatched by Winifred just as his family shows up to see real witches trying to kill him. Everyone pitches in to help, resulting in the defeat of the Sanderson sisters and the arrival of Dawn's light. Kevin is reunited with his family. He says farewell to Billy. Binks is freed. The cat, however, lives, like in the alternate ending of Hocus Pocus, so Kevin gets a new pet out of it, and he got to see those fireworks. Merry Christmas, everyone. This was my attempt at a special for you guys, and honestly, I hope you liked it. I had fun putting this together, and I'm sure the editing was a tough one to put together, so Editing Casey probably really hates me right now. If you enjoyed this special, please remember to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't. It's free, it helps me, and what helps me helps you guys get more great content like this. I am back Saturday night on December 30th with Black Flame Gaming, and then, on December 31st, at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Time, 8 p.m. UK Time, I am live with our year-end crowd work. I will be reacting to fan art and memes and doing a live Q&A with you guys on December 31st. Right now, the poll, because you guys hit 1,600 subs! Thank you so much! Right now, the poll for the costumes is up. Currently, Cassandra Sanderson, ironically, my OC of the 4th Sanderson sister, is currently leading the race by a lot. I was not expecting that, so, I mean, I'm honored, but I'm a little shocked. So, if you haven't voted in that, go vote in that. If you want to get memes in, if you want to get fan art in, join our Discord. The link is in our community post. Just look for the GIF that I'm sure Editing Me is popping up somewhere. I'm really looking forward to doing the crowd work. There's going to be pre-recorded segments of some of the best moments from the year, be it Black Flame Gaming, Editing Casey being Editing Casey, or just me on camera. So remember to tune in for that. We're going to have a lot of fun, and then we'll be doing Black Flame Gaming the day before. If you're a regular on this channel, please remember to drop a like and leave your thoughts on this insanity down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm Casey Zogelman, aka the 4th Sanderson Sister, and I'll see you witches and wizards later.